Hello everyone, welcome to our episode of tax training. Today I will discuss to you about BIR Form number 1700. This BIR Form 1700 is the annual income tax return for individual earning purely compensation income, including non-business or non-profession income. This BIR Form number 1700 is enhanced in January 2018, just on time for the new income tax law, the train law. Okay. Instruction: enter all required information in capital letters using black ink. Mark applicable boxes with an X, and then prepare 3 copies for BIR and 1 copy for the taxpayer. Let's start with line number 1 for the year. So since we will be filing the income tax return for 2019, so we have to put here the year 2019. Amended return, yes or no. Amended return if you have filed the original return and then you file again another return to correct the previous return that you already filed. So if you have the original return filed, this is amended return, then you check yes. But if this is the original return filed, yeah, then you check the box no. Alphanumeric tax code in default already. This is 1101 because this pertains only to compensation income. Background information on taxpayer identification number or TIN, the tax identification number. Be very careful with your tax identification number that you have to fill this up correctly. RDO code, where you are registered, and then the taxpayer type, whether employee or non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, which is subject to the 25% on gross. Why non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business? Because if they are a foreigner but they are working here in our country, they are going to file also this BIR Form 1700. Taxpayer's name, last name, first name, middle name. Number 8, registered address. Okay, so indicate complete address. If the registered address is different from the current address, go to the RDO to update registered address by using BIR Form number 1905. So do not choose a new address when in fact your registered address is different. You are going to update. You are going to correct. Go to the BIR and then update your information in order to reflect your correct or current address. Zip code, we have a list of zip code. You put here what is applicable in your address. Line number 9 is the date of birth, and then number 10, email address. Use only your own email address. Why? Because the BIR will send you a confirmation of your return filed. So if you use another email, then it will go to their email address and you have no access. Citizenship, Filipino. If you have other citizenship, then you fill also that other citizenship. Claiming foreign tax credit, yes or no. If you have taxes paid in other country, then fill this up. Foreign tax number, if applicable, put here also. If you have tax identification number in other country. Number 14, contact number, landlines or cell phone. Number 15, civil status, single, married, legally separated, or widower. Be sure that this is your legal status. Do not put legally separated if there is no court order that declare your marriage legally, that you are legally separated. If you are separated but no court order yet, then your legal status is still married. If married spouse has income, yes or no. The filing status is joint filing for the husband and wife or separate filing, then you indicate. Background information on spouse. The spouse TIN, the RDO code, the taxpayer type, whether employee or non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. And then number 21, the spouse name. The contact number of the spouse, citizenship, claiming foreign tax credit, yes or no, or foreign tax number. The total tax payable, then the particular, the tax due. Tax due is the from item 47. So later on we will discuss how you arrive on the tax due. Less total tax credit or payment or the taxes that you already paid. The number 28, the net tax payable or overpayment. Number 29, less portion of tax payable allowed for second installment to be paid on or before October 15. What is the second installment? The second installment is available for taxpayers whose tax due is more than 2,000. So if you want to avail of the second installment, you are going to pay 50% upon the filing of your income tax return. 50% should be paid, and then another 50% can be paid at your option on the second installment on or before October 15 of the year. Okay, so amount of tax payable or overpayment. Add penalties if you are late. If the reason that you're late in paying your taxes is justifiable, then 25% surcharge. But if it is willful or intentional, then 50% surcharge. Interest is like the legal rate of interest, 12%. From 20%, it was reduced to 12% under the train law. And then compromise, this is schedular depending on the basic tax. So total penalties and the total amount payable or overpayment, and then the aggregate amount payable or overpayment by both the husband and wife. And this is signed by the taxpayer or the authorized representative. And this is signed under the penalty of perjury. Why? Because when you file your income tax return, this is an official document. You certify that the information that you put or declare in your income tax return are correct. And then part 4, we have the details of payment for the bank, cash, check, the tax debit memo, and others. So you have there the number of receipts, the date, and the amount. And then we have the BIR Form 1700 second page. So you filled up also the TIN and the taxpayer's last name. Okay, so for Part 5, computation of tax. Okay, so if subject to graduated rates, fill in items 42 to 47. If subject to 25%, which is the income for non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, fill in item 48 to 53. Gross compensation income total for the taxpayer filer or the spouse. 43 less non-taxable exempt compensation. 44 gross taxable compensation income. 45 add other taxable non-business or non-profession income. 46 total taxable income. 47 tax due. Part 5B, subject to 25% flat rate for non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. The gross compensation income less non-taxable income. A gross taxable compensation income, add other taxable income, and then the total taxable income, and then the tax due. Part 5C is the tax credit or payment. Number 54, tax withheld per BIR Form number 2316. Tax withheld BIR Form number 2316 is the certificate of withholding tax on compensation. So number 55 is the tax paid in return previously filed, and then 56 the foreign tax credit if any, and then 57 other tax credit or payments. Total tax credit or payments equals the net tax payable or overpayment. So you have to disclose here if you still have a tax payable or if you have an overpayment. And then the part 6, the schedule, is the gross compensation income and tax withheld. What are the information here? The gross compensation and the income and tax withheld. What are the information required? The name of the employee. So, name of the employer for the taxpayer and for the spouse. The name of the employer and the TIN of the employer. Okay. So, enter the amount of compensation and tax withheld corresponding to the above employer. Okay. So, equals gross compensation income and total tax withheld for taxpayer. Okay. So, compensation income subject to regular graduated rates, or compensation income subject to 25% flat rate if non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, and equals the total tax withheld. So, you have there now the total. So, this BIR Form 1700 for individual earnings purely compensation income. And who are going to file this 1700? Only those employee who have more than one employer, or whose tax due is not equal to tax withheld, or whose spouse has some other income. But for those employee, remember that we have substituted filing. For those employee whose husband and wife has only one employer and tax due equals tax withheld, need not file this BIR Form 1700. Why? Because the substituted income tax return is their BIR Form 2316, which is the certificate of withholding tax withheld on compensation, is the equivalent of their income tax return. So, no need to file this BIR Form 1700. Okay, so please subscribe to our channel, and hopefully we can bring you more information in order that you can ease your tax compliance, in order that you can avoid some penalties because you know what are your tax obligations. So, thank you.